In this episode, we're going to make a napkin holder out of this blank. Welcome back to Victory Woodworks with Vic. I'm Vic. Thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate it. We're trying to grow this channel to 100 subscribers by the end of the month. So please, help us out by clicking on the like, subscribe buttons and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our riveting episodes. So the boss lady of the house asked if I could make a napkin holder, a vertical napkin holder, that matches the Lazy Susan we made a couple episodes ago. So, being the smart man, married man that I am, I said, yeah. And then I tried to figure out, what did she mean? So in this episode, we're going to explore making a vertical napkin holder. Okay, so that napkin holder is supposed to hold these napkins. Now these napkins are your standard off-the-shelf napkins you pick up in a grocery store. They're about almost 6 inches square. They're like 5 3/4 by 6. So what we're going to try to do is create a napkin holder that's vertically stands like this for all the napkins. I'm not sure how thick it's going to be yet. It really depends on what other scraps we have. And this is what we're going to cut the main body out of. So the idea is we're going to cut off the edges here, make it rectangular. And then we're going to try to make it as big as we can. We're going to design up in Carbide Create for the CNC some sort of pattern for the sides of the holder, with this being kind of on the vertical side, you know, vertical up and down. So picture this one side and another side with some sort of connecting piece of wood in between. So from a lumber preparation point of view, lumber's prepped. It's smoothed out, it's sanded to some level, and it's flat, ready for the CNC. But what we're going to do first is we're going to cut off these jagged edges to figure out the exact dimension we have. So when we go design on the Carbide Create application, we'll know exactly what we're working with. Our overall goal is to get the sides to be somewhere, I don't know, 5 inches tall by about 5.5 to 6 inches wide. I think I got the dimensions in the right direction. So stick with me, we're going to go to Carbide Create next. Welcome to the design section of the napkin holder. Okay, the steps we're going to take in this section are, first we're going to set up the Carbide Create job settings. We're going to design the napkin holder side. We're going to design the dado that goes in the napkin holder side so the two sides can be joined together. We're going to create the tool paths, and then finally we're going to mirror the design so that we got both sides. You'll see what I'm talking about later. Then we're going to save it, and then we're going to go to the CNC and actually cut this thing out. Step one is to create the job settings. So we're going to go up here top left hand corner in setup, create the job setup. We're going to set it up to our stock size, which is measured 7 and looks like about 1/8. Then the height of the stock is going to be 10 3/4. Model resolution standard. Thickness measured is 0.69 of an inch, or 0.69 inch. 0 is going to be on the top. The tool path corner is going to be lower left. Softwood shapeoko 4, retract height of 1/4 inch. First thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a square, or a rectangle I should say, that is half of our stock width and height, actually of our height. So the width is going to be 7.185 that we measured earlier, 1875, and the height is going to be 5.375. We're going to pin this to the lower left hand corner, because what we're going to do is we're going to draw one side and then we're going to wind up mirroring it later. So we've got this down here pinned. This is the outer outline of our stock. Next we're going to offset a rectangle to the inside. So I'm going to hit the offset button, 0.25, hit apply. This is pretty much as far as we'd like to cut out, because what we don't want to do is go off the edge, because we have clamps and things out here, and also stability of your stock. As you cut this out, we don't want things flying around. Next we're going to offset this a second time, and this is going to be our rough image of our piece. Now, this outline here, I don't think we need anymore, so it's optional. You can delete it, just extraneous. Now what we're going to do is going to grab this piece and we're going to round the corners. The way we do that is we get this cornering tool, set the radius at 0.25 as we have up here, and you just select the corner you want the radius. So here we're going to select this one and this one. So now we've got radius corners. Next, I would like to add a decorative arch by using a circle to create our arch. So basically, we're just going to create a circle, grab it, drag it onto the line here, because this is going to be the bottom of our napkin holder. You'll see that later. We're going to resize it manually by grabbing it this way. So we're about 4 blocks out, this way, 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to shrink the top and bottom to get the arc about where we want it, which is somewhere right around there. I think 3 blocks is about right. So that's about 3/8 from the bottom. But what we're going to do, because we're off here by this little bit, is we're going to go to the view menu here, snap to grid, and what we're going to do is resize the right side just a fraction, so we take into account that little piece in there. That looks to be about right. Hit that done. Now we've got our oval and our side. So now what we need to do is we need to subtract out this oval from the side piece. So we're going to hit the side piece, then we're going to click on the oval, then we're going to go to Boolean subtract. You can see the blue is what's going to be left. The orange is what's going to be taken out. Hit OK, and there's our new shape. Finally, but optional, we need to add a dado for the cross piece of the wood that will join the 2 sides of the napkin hole together. Now, you can just glue them straight up, wood to wood, or you can create a little dado, which we're going to do just to add a feature here as part of our learning process. And let's do that. So the way we do that is we are going to create a rectangle, which is roughly 7 inches wide by the width of what we want our dado. Now the measured piece of wood I'm going to use is 0.5454. Hit OK. What I'm going to do then is kind of line it up here, approximately 3 blocks up. Let's put the snap to grid back on. Make sure this is snapping to the grid somewhere. And there we go. Approximately 3 up, just overhanging both sides just a little bit. Oops. But not hanging all the way off the edge. So what we're going to do is we're going to resize that, because that's going to cut out into the edges. That looks about right. So now we've got our dado and we've got our side. So now let's go to toolpaths. Okay, here we are in toolpaths. First thing we need to do is, well, let's step back for a second. I like to start cutting from the inside out. So in this case, the inside for me is going to be this dado. So what I'm going to do there is I'm going to hit a pocket. I'm going to use current selection. I'm going to pick a bit, which in this case we're going to use the Amana. I believe it's 46202, which is a 1/4 inch spiral. Yep, 46202K. I'm going to edit that just to see with the parameters. They look fine for this particular cut. Hit OK. Hit select. Hit OK. Now, the max depth on this, we only want this to go a 1/4 inch. Because remember, it's a dado for 2 pieces, just to hold in the wood. We're going to do that. Tool path. We're going to call this dado. Hit OK. Okay, you can see it's just going to kind of go around once. Let's put that in beach, and let's show a simulation of what this will look like. There's our dado. All right, let's hide the simulation. Now, select the outside, which is the napkin holder side. I'm going to hit contour, use current selection. Start depth is going to be 0. Now here we're going to be cutting through all the way to the bottom. So we're going to hit stock bottom. And offset direction is going to be outside right. Tab width is 0.15 and 0.15. And then we're going to call this cutout. And okay, let's see what that looks like. So we can see there's our dado, here's our cutout. We can also see that we forgot to add any sort of tabs. Okay, so let's go back to design and let's select the outside, which is already selected, and add in our tabs. Let's put one on this side of the dado, one over here, one at the top, corresponding. And I think we'll need one down here somewhere. So as it comes through, it doesn't cut free. Let's hit OK on that, and let's go back to view toolpaths. Show the simulation. There you go. Okay, we're back in the design section. What we're going to do is we're going to select these two components, or these two drawings. Control C, click, Control V. And what we've done now is we've copied it to the top. We're going to just drag it here temporarily. And what we're going to do next is we're going to flip it on the vertical. So we have that. Then we're going to align it to the same spot that this one is in, which if I grab this node, kind of line it up, it's four blocks up, right? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we've got this thing completely mirrored at the top. Now, if we go back to toolpaths and do simulation, actually, when we go back to toolpaths, you'll see that all of our toolpaths are copied over as well. So we go to simulation, we can see that the top is now the same as the bottom. That's it. So let's hide this simulation and let's save the toolpaths. See you at the CNC machine. Alright, we're at the CNC. What we're going to do is we're going to double side tape down our little piece of stock here. Grab that little piece and stick into it too. And what we're going to do is we're going to put on some clamps, get everything all set, and then get ready to do the cut. Okay, so now we're going to put on the dust boot. Unlike last time when we got stuff everywhere. And we're going to turn on our shop vac, our new bucket head shop vac. So here we go. Enjoy the cut. Okay, cut is done. So let's see how we did. Let's pull it off of here and let's do a little reveal here on the makeshift workbench. As you can see, here's the dado we have that we cut out. This is the piece of wood or stock that's going to fit inside. You can see the fit is nice and snug. It's could have been maybe 1/100th or 200th more. But we're going to cut this to size, kind of glue it in like this, and that'll be it for this one. And we're just about finishing. As Mads would say, "Oh, glory is sanding." Here we go. Our pieces are now nicely sanded up. What we're going to do is we're going to dry fit this together, and I'm going to put tape on the pieces where we might get glue squeeze out, so that we don't get glue squeeze out on the pieces that we want to show. Now that that's done, what we're going to do is we're just going to glue this up. There we go. All in the clamps and glue. I will just wait for it to dry up. Be back in about an hour or so. We'll take the clamps off and we'll see how we did. So the glue up went well. We finally got all of the tape off. Tape was a good idea, but over application of the tape was a bad idea. There is no squeeze out, so we're in good shape there. Just going to hit this quickly with the tack cloth, and then what we're going to do is we're going to put on some wipe-on poly. And for cleanup, we're going to use mineral spirits. Of course, you can put on the gloves, and I believe 2, maybe 3 coats should be enough. I believe it's 4 hours between coats. So let's get to it. Well, here's 1 coat down, and 1, maybe 2 more to go. Here's our completed project. We put on a 2nd coat last night and let it dry inside the house because it's a bit cold out here in the shop. So here's a little close-up. I'm no Vanna, but here you go. I believe the boss lady's going to love this. And hopefully you guys like this project also. So if you like what you saw, maybe you learned something new, please click on the like, subscribe, and notification bell buttons to let YouTube and everybody else know that we're doing something good here. As always, thank you for watching, and see you in the next episode.